And we are live. Oh, no, we are not. Maybe we are. Technical difficulties this morning. There we go. We are live. Good morning, everybody. This is Danielle and Gina here from Be Boss Girl, and we're here with you again, and we have 3 participants this morning. Let me see if I can get this to come up. Oh, Sharon's with us again today. Hello, Sharon. Do you have questions?
Good morning.
Do you have questions today, Sharon? Do you have some questions today, Sharon?
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Oh, awesome. I was typing in because I didn't know that you could hear me. So I do have a question, a little follow-up from yesterday. By the way, it was really, really fun to see you guys. And also, Gina, I really liked how you kind of delineated what, the differences between task management and project management. That was a really good distinction to have. Task management, being the ongoing tasks, the operational ones, and project management being the client work and projects that have a beginning and an end. So that was super helpful. So along those lines, Danielle, you had mentioned that you, I know this also personally, that you share social media content with clients through Trello.
Yes.
So I know that, it's pretty straightforward to do that for the content, the captions, but how do you share the graphics? Like, do you just stick the graphics on a card? Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Sure. So the best way that I have, I have found is to set up a board specifically for a client. So you're sharing a whole entire board with a client. We always do a card with the strategy, and I write out the strategy and using the checklist option in Trello. And we do so that we can lay out what we want for day 1. And we always number the checklist. So May 1st is 1, May 2nd is 2. So it makes it pretty easy. And if you have multiple posts in the day, 1A, 1B, 1C, that type of thing. Makes it really, really easy to do that. Also doing some bold syntax and things like that. And if you guys need, go take a look online. You can find how to make things look a little different. You can figure out how to do italicized and bold and things like that in Trello, which is really, really awesome to do to help you visually be able to see things a little bit better. But we do the checklist for a strategy. So May 1st would be May Day, whatever. If there's a specific holiday you want to separate that for a hashtag, if you want to make sure that you're always hitting Thankful Thursday every Thursday, that type of thing. So you lay out that strategy for both you and the client, so the client is able to follow along. And it can help you. I encourage my clients to write at least 10 posts a month so that they are personally from them. The more about me type posts, or the who I am personally, who I am in my business, those kind of things. But maybe the story, like IG story type posts, so that you could really write out the strategy and everybody's on the same page. And then when you're writing, we do the same thing, checklist, number them off. And then we always put the graphics in Google Drive and just put at the head of the card. We always put the link to the Google Drive so everybody can easily get to it from that card, and then number those graphics up to match the post. So you have a graphic named 1 and a graphic named 2 for each day of the month. We have found that is a really, really, really good strategy, and it's super easy for the clients to be able to upload their own graphics. And if they're already in Google Drive, and most clients are using Google Drive now for storage of their pictures and things like that, you can easily share pictures between you, move them in between folders and that kind of thing. It makes it a whole lot easier.
Okay, so the Google Drive for the photos.
Yes.
I was talking with somebody who said they do like their whole social media calendar for the month right in Trello, like with photos and with the captions. And have you ever tried that?
We have, but there's only one issue with that. In the free Trello boards, you don't have unlimited storage. So pictures, you could chew through that storage super, super fast.
Oh, yeah.
So that is really the biggest reason not to. Also, getting the pictures back out, and if you're posting manually, like Every social media manager should. You shouldn't be using a scheduler if at all and when possible. It's harder to get the pictures back out of Trello than it is Google Drive.
Got it.
And the quality goes down when you're pulling it from Trello instead of Google Drive as well. I've noticed that.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Because Trello compresses them. And then when you're downloading that compressed file, when you're downloading it out of Trello versus grabbing it out of Google Drive where it's raw. I mean, as raw as any pictures that you download anywhere are, but.
Yeah, because Trello is trying to save as much space for you as possible because you only have so much storage. So
and even
breathe harder than it needs to. It's kind of like walking up the stairs when you're out of shape. That's what we're doing to Trello.
Yeah, and even with paid Trello, if you're paying for like the pro version, you don't have unlimited storage. So you don't want that to add up because you do want to keep things, you want to keep that history available to you because a good strategy is every 120-ish days to go back through and start recycling some of that content. And if you constantly have to strip it out of Trello because you're using up too much space, then you don't have that history.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting point that you just brought up about being able to recycle content every 120 days.
I actually have a standard, well, I am building to that right now, 20 posts that are always the same. And we cycle through those. I mean, you don't use all 20 of them every single month, but we're cycling through those. Eventually, I'll eventually have 6 sets of 20 posts, 6 sets of 20 posts that we're constantly cycling around and reusing. So the only ones that you're really customizing each time, I mean, we use different graphics for every time we reuse those posts. So we're not using the same graphic every time. But by recycling content, eventually by 6 months into doing something for a client, a good strategy is reusing that. If you have good content and you're doing a good job in the first place, reusing that content is huge. And a good social media manager strategist will tell you to do that. It's really good. And the types of things that we reuse are the about us, the about our business. These are the services we offer. Those are the types of posts that you reuse. Those are the most important to reuse.
Yep. Yeah, and people have to know, and you might not have seen it the first time around.
And only 6% of your followers are seeing your content every time you post it. So
sad.
You could, I mean, honestly, you could probably reuse it once a week. Only a couple people are going to notice that you're doing that. You don't want to do that. That's actually pretty bad to do.
Yeah.
But it's not too hard. And think about all the work you're saving yourself as a social media manager.
Yeah.
I will often, if I have a client that's really hands off with their social media and they don't want any input, I will go through and write about 200 posts all at once.
Oh, wow.
And then, then that first 90 days, you're tweaking things, seeing what's best for them, what works best for their audience and that kind of thing. And once you have it down, I have 200 posts, probably a good 50 to 60% of those I can start reusing and recycling.
Super cool. Good strategy tip. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we have another question today. And we had a question from Sandra. And no, this is not our Sandra that has worked with us over at Be Boss Girl. This is another Sandra, which confused me when I first got the message on Facebook. She wanted to know, how do you use a social media posting software? What is the best strategy for using it? So just as I just said to Sharon, don't. Instagram, you do much better. And there's a lot of information out there and a lot of social media managers that will argue with me, whatever, unless you are so strapped for time that you can't consistently post. That is what those posting softwares are for. Unless you are in that place that you can't consistently post on your own, don't use software to post. Facebook has their own scheduler built in. Use that. Pinterest has its own scheduler built in. However, with Pinterest, you can also use Tailwind. I don't see a whole lot of difference with using Tailwind as far as posting original content. There's not an issue there. But Facebook and Instagram, using an auto poster like Social Pilot, Buffer, there's a million of them out there. I do see a big difference for my clients. So the reason why we only take so many clients and my team only takes on so many clients when we are managing, is because we do things manually. You will get the best. Part of why you get the best is when you're in there before you post. You should spend about 15 minutes before you post interacting on Instagram itself with other accounts for 15 minutes before you post. That will increase your reach. When you're using an auto poster, you don't do that. There's no interaction, and the algorithms know that when you do that. Facebook, you don't have to interact quite like that, but using Facebook's poster, they want you to stay internally to Facebook. Facebook wants to keep you in Facebook land. It's best, which also means you shouldn't be adding too many links. Don't do too many posts with external links in them, like links out to your website or things like that. Your story and everything on your sidebar on your Facebook page should be well written and have all of that in it. But your posts on Facebook, don't do links for every single post. That's really, really bad for your algorithm.
So do you want to touch on just a little bit about how Pinterest isn't necessarily...
Pinterest is not. Speaking of external links, I'm going to unmute you, Sharon. What do you got?
Okay, I'm going to stop typing. Yeah, you just touched upon something that I just heard recently. What is your feeling about Facebook Notes?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen things like that drive too much extra traffic, because honestly, people don't want to read those long form things very often. Yeah. So I wouldn't do it too often, but once in a while you want to add to your story and you want to really dive into something. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing wrong with doing it then. But I wouldn't do it super often.
Okay. I mean, in terms of not sending people out off of Facebook, you know, I get what you're saying. Facebook doesn't want you to leave Facebook. So if you were to put a blog post that you might have sent somebody to your WordPress, site or whatever, what if you put it on a Facebook note and send people that way?
No, I wouldn't do that, because you do want the traffic to your website. So okay. How I handle those, and when I'm writing a post, is go check out our blog. It's in our side about us in our sidebar. I mean, okay. A well set up profile will have that information right there for somebody. So I point them to that.
Okay.
And Facebook doesn't penalize you if people are clicking on all of that about you stuff over on the side. Okay. They only penalize you if it's in posts.
If it's in the post. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing that you get less prioritization by Facebook when you put external links?
If you a whole entire profile that does that often doesn't get as much interaction.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
And that's also when you're posting on a Facebook group about you and pointing people to you. I point people to my Facebook page more often than I do my website now. People like that because they just have to message me on Facebook and they're already there.
Yep.
So I'm finding that also works better there. And you could post your link. You're not hurting your own algorithm by posting a link in somebody else's Facebook group and that kind of thing. But you get more interaction and more direct, quick interaction from a potential client when you point them to your Facebook page.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I'm going to mute you again.
Okay.
So back to Pinterest. For the 900,000th time, Pinterest is not social media, nor should it be treated like social media. Do not post social media type. Well, you can post some. All your posts shouldn't be social media style posts to Pinterest. That's a waste. Pinterest is it's a visual search engine. Let me say that again for those in the back. It is a visual search engine. So your top 3 search engines, Google, Pinterest, and YouTube. You will notice 2 of them people don't really think about as search engines. They are. And it's visual. So that's huge. You could do those long pins on Pinterest. You can mix it up and do some things and repost things from Instagram once in a while if you find a great post, or your Facebook post, share things from your Facebook page, which we'll be sharing some of these videos to Pinterest from our Facebook page. And that's fine. But you don't want that predominantly to be what you want to do. SEO is super, super important on Pinterest. You want your Pinterest SEO to be perfect. But if your website SEO is not perfect, your Pinterest SEO is going to suck. So they go hand in hand, SEO. And I'm sorry for all of those. There's about 9,000 SEO optimization people out there that only do front end SEO.
It needs to be, anything you do in your business needs to be well-rounded. It can't just be on the front, or it can't just be on the back. There will be like, because then that causes a break in the middle. And that's something that Danielle and I, like, every single time we have a client that comes to us for our private consulting that needs us to relaunch a product for them, or a lot of times we end up completely redoing their entire product line. Usually their marketing, when we go to do their marketing, we find that it's only ever on the front end and they're not doing anything on the back. And even though the front is what you see and it is important, everybody always forgets that your back end stuff is equally as important as what's going on the front end. So sometimes it could take just a couple of more minutes to make sure that you're well-rounded, as opposed to just, let me just throw in the front because this is what people see. But what you don't realize is it's messing you up down the line somewhere else if you don't just take that extra time to get that one piece to get it finished.
So I have a huge proof of concept for this. We launched The Boss Girl. Our website right now is complete crap.
Yep.
Totally open about that. We threw it up. I will describe what both front end and back end SEO. So I'm going to do that here. Our website looks like complete crap right now.
It's caca.
It just is. And we know this, but we're working, we're getting it redone. We needed it up. We needed it now. That's another lesson to you. Perfect is not necessary when launching. Launching is the piece that's.
Yeah, we just needed it up, and then we hired people to fix what we did.
Yes, exactly. So, but even in my crap site, I did all of my meta tags. I've done alt tags. Every single graphic has alt tags. Every single word is optimized. My meta descriptions are optimized. My snippets are optimized. Everything is optimized on the website. Within 24 hours, we were getting 1,000 hits a day on our website.
Don't forget, we also wrote a ton of content before we even launched and went through and SEO'd all of it.
Everything is SEO'd. Every blog post has H1 headers, H2 headers, H3 headers. I mean, all of those things are super, super important.
Which shows that websites are not dead. I just want to touch on that. Like, we hear this all the time when people come to us with wanting us to.
Do I really need a website?
I don't need a website. So-and-so told me I just needed a landing page, and then everything else can happen on Facebook. And that is absolute horse crap. It is, your website and your SEO is probably is still king, in my opinion. Like, you don't have a presence on Facebook at all, and literally just have your website and some Pinterest going, and you'd be popping.
So front end SEO is making sure your blog post is well written. You're hitting keywords in your blog post. You're doing the headings, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3 throughout the blog post, Sharon. That's all front end. Your back end is your alt tags and your meta tags in your back end of your site, and that's coded right into your site. There are some great ways to do it, and we'll approach that another day because that's a very long conversation on how to do all of that. Maybe we'll do a training on it at some point, probably will, on how to really do SEO well. And when you do that and pass that over to your Pinterest, we had Pinterest set up for what, 4 days?
It wasn't even that. It was like 2
days.
We have like 5 pins.
And 5 pins. And we were getting 1,500 hits on our Pinterest into our website. So that's 2,500 hits on our website in less than 72 hours.
Yeah. And we were laughing, by the way, because we were like,
we hadn't even launched yet. We hadn't launched yet. We didn't promote it. We hadn't set up our Facebook page yet. We hadn't set up our Instagram yet.
We hadn't done diddly.
And that was traffic, which means you're getting more notice, which means da-da-da-da-da. And we're already way up there on Google when somebody searches for Be Boss Girl.
And it also gave us the other thing that makes that this is okay. So for you guys that don't necessarily know my background is in IT project management, but in the implementation piece of that. So analytics are my friend. I love numbers. I want to know them. And Danielle can tell you, I have like my little spreadsheets, and we'll be talking about something. It doesn't fit in the spreadsheet. So I'm that guy. I'm that kid. And what SEO gave us when we are looking at our analytics, looking at our numbers, looking how the business is moving, it gave us so much insight into what the customer that was coming to our site was looking for, so that we're able to adjust what it is that's sitting on there to increase conversion.
And I am looking at things like that, and in that analytics, knowing how to read my Google Analytics, knowing how to read the front end on my website, what my website provides me. I know to go in and tweak. Well, these keywords, they haven't even been hit at all, but these keywords are really good. So what are more variations of those keywords so I can get more traffic? It's not something that SEO is not something that you could just have done and leave. And you hire the SEO strategist, and they come in, they redo your website, and then walk away, and you never touch it again. You can't do that.
It's like
when we offer an SEO package, part of our SEO package is in 60 days, we come back in and review and revise it always. But that's also why people will have a little bit of a heart attack when we do SEO strategy, because our minimum package for SEO strategy for a medium-sized site is $2,500. But I spend 14 days having your site crawled and having similar market research sites crawled and looking for what they're using. I'm crawling Pinterest. I'm doing all kinds of things on the background for 14 days before I even touch your website. Then I'm going through and optimizing everything in your website, back end, front end. And then I'm coming back in 30 days and reviewing everything. Then I'm coming back in 60 days and reviewing everything. It takes a lot of time.
And this also brings up another point that you guys are going to hear me say all the freaking time. Your business is a living, breathing thing, which means it's going to be constantly growing and evolving. There is no such thing as a set it and forget it automated company. Like all these people out here that are telling you all you need is ClickFunnels and you'll make millions. They've got a team of people that are doing exactly what Danielle and I are talking about every single month to ensure that they're still getting hits to that funnel, and that funnel is still converting, and that funnel is still relevant.
When I was working in corporate, this is where I learned to do these strategies. When I was working in corporate, I worked with a multi-billion-dollar a year, multi-IT vendor.
That was a B, you guys.
Billion B. And their marketing team daily looked at their stats, daily made changes.
Yep. And then let's not even forget like the weekly and monthly reporting with all of the graphs and the thing. That's where I would come in as the data analyst, is finding the trends, finding what was working. Let's eliminate this to make the marketing team's lives easier. I also come from the billion-dollar corporate industry. It's a B. It's a whole different beast out there.
And small businesses, where they fail is they think they can do it all themselves. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not an expert in every single thing out there. I'm not an expert. I mean, I have 25 years of experience, so I have a lot of areas that I cover, but I'm not an expert in anything, and things change constantly. I just went through SEO training again, even though I've been doing it since WordPress was a brand new thing and SEO didn't exist. Okay, people, it wasn't even called WordPress. Yes, I'm old. And
you just started earlier.
I started in this tech world.
Yeah,
when all of it was starting.
Yeah,
I started when some of this stuff didn't exist. Alta Vista.
Also starting when we some of us chose to go to college right out of high school, and you went to work. So
I went directly to work.
That's the difference. I just want to point that out, you guys. Danielle talks like she's 70. And she's very much so not. She's very, very much.
I'm not even 45 yet. So
yeah, she's very young. So don't let her fool you.
I'm just older than a lot.
Not a grandma. I'm a baby grandma over here, but she's not a grandma.
but it's, I revisit my training constantly. And it's so important to do that. And as a trying to DIY everything is not possible. Now, that being said, starting out and DIYing and launching and getting out there and getting done is better than perfect. It's something we all hear often. It is. Get out there, start making some money, start doing your thing so that you can hire somebody to do it better, so that you can hire the next person to do it. For us, we have a team that does everything. It's part of what we do on the DG marketing side, but my team doesn't always have time. Okay, so I'm very ADHD, if you didn't know, and I'll come up with something and launch it before my team even has time to tell me what their schedules are, so that they can do whatever needs to be done. So you will see, I'm also dyslexic. You will see me launch something that's full of spelling errors and grammar issues. You know what though? That doesn't matter, because I've launched, I've made that first step. And we decided that we were going to do this morning show, and we're like, well, let's see how it happens. Our website got hit so many hits yesterday, and we had, in 4 minutes after the show shut down, we had $60 in sales.
Yeah, and just to give you guys some context, like currently, Be Boss Girl, our products are priced at like $5, $20. They're very, 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 very low priced. So for a $60 purchase to come through, this
in 4 minutes after doing this,
yeah, like almost our whole library was almost purchased.
Yeah, and it's just because we stepped out and did it. Our website's not even done yet. Our website, like I said, our website is crap. Our website won't be done for another 2 weeks because my team didn't have time to catch up with us doing stuff.
Yeah, we just started rolling. And, usually I like to be slow about stuff, but there was no need to be.
And in the membership piece that we're talking about launching, we weren't going to do that for another 6 to 8 months, and realized that we needed to do it now. So it's happening.
So we had to push up that timeline, and it's taking it. Luckily for us, because we have done so many launches. I'm prefacing this because while we're doing this, our skill set fits the ability to be able to do this quickly. Sometimes
when we do a launch with a client, we're looking at minimum of 90 days to do a proper launch.
And that's if they already have a viable product. It takes longer if they don't. So like we have a current client that does not have a viable product, and it's taken us almost 90 days just to get the viable product. Then it's going to be another 90 days to launch.
And we have another client that came to us with all of her product completely done, and it's still going to take us 90 days before we're ready to launch. So
90 days. 90
days, people. Sorry. It's something that drives us nuts, because somebody will come to us and say, can you do this next week? No. I had somebody Friday night reach out to me, and she's like, I have my course completely written, but it's not completely written. Somebody needs to fill it in, and somebody needs to do this, and somebody needs to create this. So she thought she had it all done, and then decided I don't know. And she's like, and I want to launch it on Friday next week. I'm like, no.
And people get so mad at us.
I'll pay whatever to make it get done. I'm like, okay. So if you demand a launch, we're looking at $50,000 due right now for us to launch you by Friday next. She's like, why would it be that much? That's impossible. I'm like, because I would have to hire like 20 people to make that happen.
Yeah, we'd have to hire a bunch of people, and everybody would have to work 8+ hours a day only on that to make it happen. And like, we're not going to ask our team to do that and not be compensated for it. People get mad at us all the time though, man, because we have no problem going, no. And they get so mad.
I've gotten sworn at more than once this week already, and it's only Tuesday. So
yeah, they get so mad at us. And it's like, guys, like,
well, I had another client say, well, I want to launch the 6-figure thing. And she's going through, or not client, sorry. This other woman reach out and do a call with me. I think it was about a month ago. And I want to launch this six figures 90-day bit thing. And so I went through it with her, and I'm like, so I have a question. You told me, because we require people to tell us what their current monthly income is. She's making less than $2,500 a month. That's not a six-figure business, honey. She goes, well, I figure if I do this, then that will get me to my six figures. I said, I won't work with you.
Yeah, we're not
Like, well, why not? And I said, because you are lying and I am not.
It's unethical. And
devaluing myself or having people question my integrity for being behind your launch. I won't do it.
Yeah, see, because like when we say that like our company has become a six-figure company, we just signed a six-figure contract. Like just last night, the signature finally came over. Like we have other contracts that are very similar in that. Very similar, but we're not teaching anything around it yet. So before you guys start asking us, we're not teaching yet because while the contract is a six-figure contract, that it's going to take some time for that to come in and for us to hammer out what to do, how to do, so like we might talk about it, but it's not cash received yet, you guys. And
the other thing I want to tell you, 99% of the time when you see somebody saying six figures, BS. Because something I've learned, and I have talked to, and I personally have had these conversations with like 4 or 5 six-figure coaches. Honey, six figures does not include the numbers after the decimal point. And yes, I've had that conversation.
No, you did not.
Yes, I have had that conversation.
Why does anything surprise me anymore?
And then six figures, I don't count it six figures when you are paying out 5 figures to somebody else to do all the work.
Exactly. I don't either. It's got to be cash. Like that has to be what is sitting in the bank, cash received. So I think this is a good time to segue into this portion of what you guys are getting when you listen to Danielle and myself, or you come over and get any of the products from Be Boss Girl, anything that we do, you're actually getting to tap into a combined over 25 plus years of experience in
40 years of experience.
Yeah, in the corporate and small business sector. That's what, like, so we have that combination. We've worked in small business. My dad owned a small business when I was growing up. Danielle's had small businesses. Like, we've worked in the corporate sector. So you're getting an awful lot of knowledge from us that is like not BS. Like, I'm more than happy. Like, if somebody ever asks me for it, I have no problem actually publishing my resume. Go check out our LinkedIn profile. Like, you can like, we can back up and qualify what we're telling you guys. We're not making it up. I'm
going to argue with Gina about that. So something I've been,
so you don't,
I have been in corporate for so long, and I stayed in the same industry for so long. I never even had to fill out an application for my last 3 jobs. I just got hired.
Yeah, so I mean,
I don't have a resume. I haven't had a resume in 20 years. So.
But basically what I'm saying is you guys, like, we don't want to ever sound like that we're discouraging you or squashing on your dreams, because we know that a lot of gurus are out there going, do it, have it, be it, think it, manifest it. You can have whatever you want. Girl, wash your face, like that sort of stuff. And we don't ever want you to think that we're poo-pooing on your parade. We're actually trying to help you by bringing in the real, it's real. It's the real stuff that works. Like, mindset is all about it, but you also will really benefit from talking to people that actually know what they're talking about and aren't constantly just talking about, oh, I just manifested it. It just fell out of the sky.
And so something I talk about that's very much like this, when Be Boss Girl first started way back last year, I lost my corporate job. That's a whole other conversation.
And we'll tell some other day, because I lost mine.
And I replaced my corporate income. And let me tell you, it wasn't the small income. I replaced my corporate income in 3 weeks. You want to know how I did it? There was no manifesting. There was a mindset. I had a huge mindset that I have to replace this income now. And I did it because I worked my freaking butt off doing it.
It's resilience. That's the mindset that you need to cultivate, is the resilience, I'm going to get back up and keep trying and keep learning, because you're going to fail. You're going to fail 1,000 times.
I
before.
failed 1,000 times in the last year building Be Boss Girl to where it has been. And yes, we did have to take some time off. I failed 1,000 times when I have done a million other things. I mean, I failed millions of times at this point, but I've learned from those failures.
Yeah, failure is part of it. And it takes to build something that is going to last and be sustainable and is really going to make a long-term difference for you and your family and all of the things that you are working for when it comes to building your business. It takes time. Like this, everybody that's out there that claims that they're an overnight success, they had been working at this for years before they were an overnight success. And now they're telling you they're going to teach you how to do it in 30 days. But what happened is it was a year, it was probably like 2 years and 30 days for them to become that overnight success.
And they call overnight success because they rebranded or something. And okay, great. But so anyway, that being said, that your integrity when you're a business owner is what you need to stand on. So make sure the fake it till you make it crap don't work here. And Gina and I won't work with people that are the fake it till you make it crap. And we have taken a stand on that. And that's something that's very, very important, both on the DG marketing side and the Be Boss Girl side. Be Boss Girl, obviously we don't screen people quite the same, but
yeah, we don't. Yeah.
But it's not something that is, your integrity is so important to your business. And staying above and beyond all the crap out there is super, super important.
Which is why we have the motto we have, is that's what it's all about.
So integrity is number one. It really is number one. Number two is knowing that you have no freaking clue at what you're doing. We all have no freaking clue at what we're doing. And it's taken me a year or so to learn this. Well, okay, let's see. I've been working in the small business world for 10 years. And it took me a long time to figure out how to navigate in the small business world. And I was still in tech. So a year and a half ago, I had to relearn the small business world from the non-tech side. We all don't always know what we're doing. And it's okay to ask for help. And that's why we're here. That's why we have this Rise Strong, Become Limitless, Be Boss Girl Facebook group. You can ask us questions there. We're always there to support. We're not super active over there yet because we just started the group and we're just building, but we're there. You tag us, we'll answer. Tag us on our Facebook page. Tag us anywhere on Facebook. We'll find you. We are always here to support and help you keep your integrity in this crazy, crazy online business world. We're here to be the answers that you need because you just don't know. I think I spent 45 minutes this morning answering somebody's question on how to build a landing page and how to connect a payment system this morning. She was tagging me in another Facebook group and I answered her basic question and then she kept asking questions. We're always happy to do that.
Absolutely.
We don't necessarily need to be selling ourselves all the time. We actually try not to.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times that we do, but we try not to all the time.
We're here to help you navigate it. It's the Wild West out here. It really is. And we're here to help you navigate it. You have to think on the DG marketing side, we work with businesses that are at the corporate level. So we're still in corporate and we're taking that knowledge and bringing it over here to Be Boss Girl to help the everyday woman be able to do whatever it is that she wants and not have to be chained to a desk. Because let me tell you, I like not having to be chained to my desk, or like my commute is my 30-second walk across my house. And I'm able to take better care of my family because I'm home.
I love it. I love working from home, except for today. I'm not going to be home at all. Today I get to all over the place. But it's really important that you stand on what you believe on what you stand on, and that we're always our t-shirts, Rise Strong, Become Limitless. You can't do this unless you're standing on your integrity and asking for help when you need it. That's part of having integrity, is knowing that you don't know.
Yeah.
we're going to tie up today. We ran longer than we had planned on today, but hey,
that's okay.
this is what happens when we get talking. My husband is laughing at us now because now we're getting paid to talk all the time. He's like, you finally found a job that you can get paid to talk all the time. So you guys have an amazing day. I want you to really focus on rising strong, becoming limitless, and being a boss girl, boss woman, boss girl, whatever word you like there.
Just be boss, man. Just be a
boss. Be a boss in everything you do today. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, y'all.